No, but we had an awesome, we had a really good conversation. But I think it was also a little bit uncomfortable for me. That was off air. That was unrecorded. Um,
That it wasn't being recorded, or just the conversation as it's on its own.
the conversation we had, um, that wasn't recorded. You know.
Yeah, you guys don't know about that.
Yeah. But no. But I'm gonna recap though, like, because I think it's a really good subject to like bring it home, um, and just kind of like delve deeper into it a little bit. But we can just transition to, like, just in summary. I think it kind of started when I said, Steph, I appreciate or and respect, like, I like that you act like a normal guy, and that kind of transformed, because that's not what I meant to say. What I really meant to say was, I like that you act like yourself, because we talked a lot about how saved it. We talked a lot about how, like, there's different spectrums of, like, culture and identity. Like, say, and just using Black culture for example, there's people who identify with culture not, like, very minimally, and people on the other spectrum that, like, that's their whole identity. There's not necessarily anything wrong with either of them, or even people in the middle either. I don't think, but if there are, like, if there's something intrinsically bad or good about a person, you really take it, like, at the individual level. You don't I think the big takeaway, what we're trying to get across, is that, like, you don't generalize, you don't assume things about people, whether,
Yeah,
like,
because that just leads to like bad times.
mhm.
Like, oh,
Yeah, you never want to make assumptions
that's how
about
you turn
people.
people off to certain ideas and certain
Exactly. And
like
I
thought
want,
patterns.
yeah, and I just wanted to bring that up again, because even for this podcast, like, I like, consciously, I believe that's, like, a bad thing to do. Obviously, don't assume things about people, but clearly I've done this, like, throughout all my episodes so far. Like, even for my first episode, when I was trying to come up with ideas for my guests to talk about, it was ethnicity and culture. And where did I get that idea? I was like, my two guests, one's from Portugal, the other's from Guatemala. Clearly, this is a good topic to talk about. And when I had Arnish on as well, I'm like, Arnish is from India, and he's very well read on topics about India. So that's probably an interesting topic to talk about. But I don't think it's wrong to talk about those things, not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily. But I think it's wrong to think that's the first thing you jump to, Like,
Yeah.
like, if I saw someone that's, like, of a certain race, and I thought to myself, that's a great place to start with conversation. Um, I feel like that's a I feel like that's the first step to going in, like, the direction of stereotyping, Like, it could go that way. But I don't know. I do want to know people more, like, at a personal level though. And, like,
I get that
yeah,
because like
like,
I really do enjoy meeting people
mhm,
for that reason, like getting to know people.
right.
I don't know, like there's a part of me that like strove for that a lot too, like back in school. Like this like
Hmm.
really like interesting like need to like want to meet new people, so I get to like go through that process of like learning them and getting along with them again.
Yeah. How
But
was
yeah, that's a thing.
did you get to know a good mix of people at UMass?
I'd say not as much as I wanted to,
Hmm.
because I definitely say like the biggest like brunt I'd ever had was like the Webster group, and that was like really fun. But I wanted that same experience again, but couldn't get that.
Hmm.
That whole like meeting an entire like huge group of people and then like slowly like making my way into it. Like that's really fun to me.
How do
So
you
like
feel?
yeah.
How do you feel about this format? About, like, face-to-face video chats? Like, because part of my goal for this was to get to know
Mhm.
people better. Like, I wish I was back at campus as well, and, like, having that in person. You get to notice all the nuances about a person, like the way they smile, or, like, I don't know, the way their leg shakes. It's kind of like, I don't know, little things. Really.
Whoa,
It's kind
dude!
of stupid.
Like psychoanalyzing me.
Yeah, I don't know.
His leg started tapping. He's lying.
No, but I don't know. You get like the full experience of getting to know a person in person.
Yeah. This is
And
pretty decent too, but yeah, definitely being in person is a lot better. But I think that's mainly
get
in the sense
out,
that I
get
like
out,
talking to
get
people.
out of here.
Yeah,
How
I
dare
like
you?
talking to people
How dare you
more.
criticize my format?
I like talking to people more rather than like texting, for instance. Like I hate texting, but the majority of like the way I talk to most people nowadays is
Hmm.
through text, and I hate that. I hate texting, especially because I don't think my personality translates very well over text.
Yeah, mine's
Like
neither.
I don't know, like I just the way I normally speak and the way I normally think, I think it's just like I like having fast conversations.
Hmm.
So when it's like I made a point and then 5 minutes later they make their point, and I'm like, what was my,
It's so
what
slow.
was I gonna like say again? Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
even when it's like a back and forth, it's still really slow.
yeah. And like just echoing what you said already, you can't really get your points across that well. It's pretty limited.
You can't
Um,
get tone either. Like tone
yeah,
is
yeah.
super important
Hmm.
because that's another thing. Like cracking jokes doesn't hit the same if you can't hear them laughing. So if you just crack
Yeah.
the joke and they hit you with like an LOL, it's like, oh no, oh geez, that was a flop, wasn't it?
What's something that really turns me off is when someone sends me a paragraph and like a really long paragraph, and I think to myself, this is the end of our conversation. Like
Oh,
we're
wait,
over.
is that how you see that? The brick?
Yeah,
Really?
the
I
brick.
see the opposite. I feel like once the conversation reaches a point where they're sending like, okay,
No,
that's
no,
when it's
no, no,
like,
no.
oh
I mean, no,
no.
okay. I should rephrase. That's when I transition. That's when we transition from texting to calling. Like, I'm not gonna, like, because if you send me a block and I give you, and I answer you back with like a yes or no or like a 2 word answer or something, then it's a sign that we need to talk in person. Like, texting, I feel like texting is for, minimal stuff. You get your points across real quick.
Yeah, like for instance, like I I have a friend who I've literally only talked to through texting for like the past 3 years. I have not seen them in person in 3 years, and it's only been through text. And I'm about to like hang out with them for the first time like tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like that's gonna be really surreal.
Oh,
It's like I haven't spoken to you like an
yeah.
actual word to you in 3 years.
I saw a post on the Humans of New York. You know that? Oh, it's like a blog where they do like autobiographies, like blog posts about people, and they like take a photo of them and talk about their lives, like they're narrating it. One of the ones I read recently, this girl actually got married to this guy she like met like online, like texting a bunch and playing World of Warcraft together. And then she met him like 7 years later, and they got married. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's super rare. I don't know how. I'm still I still stand on the fact that like in person and
In
video
person.
chats. Yeah, just in
Yeah,
person is the best.
I definitely prefer that. Like I understand that though. Like especially now because it's like I feel like everyone's just felt more lonely than they ever have
Hmm.
nowadays. So like I watched a video where like these guys like they did like a challenge on like on like Omegle, and I was like, oh my god, Omegle's a thing, and I was like, I might I might try that sometime. And then I remembered the downsides to it, and I was like, maybe I was
Yeah.
like, but no, yeah, like how it's like seeing them meet people they don't know was just like, oh, I missed that. I was like, that's fun.
Hmm.
That's a
Yeah.
good time.
Is this person that you've been texting? Do you know them very well, or?
Yeah, yeah, I've known them for like 5 years.
Okay,
We went to the same high school,
got it.
but then like the moment I left for college, I just have not seen them since.
Yeah. That's good to
Yeah,
connect with people. Have you been able to keep in touch with like UMass people or?
I occasionally like dip my toe in the group chat.
Yeah.
I talk to Asun every now and then. Very brief, like 3 message conversations that happen, but
Mm.
like like it is what it is.
Hmm.
But yeah, I feel like I've fallen out of my groups because, like I said, I'm not good at like texting. I
Yeah.
don't really want to do it. So a lot of the time, I'm not going to be like a main person who's going to be like in a group chat speaking. A lot
I
of the
think
time, I look at stuff and then just go on my way.
yeah. I don't think a lot of people are good at like being committed to texting. Like some people might be really good at it, but I think it's easy to like ghost people or take your time to text people back, and like to be able to be committed, like make a good conversation and like a relationship through text, probably very hard.
Yeah.
There is an alternative which I found interesting recently. Sarah Hodge, she actually mails people's letters sometime. Like
Oh, Jesse does that too. I guess that's just their group thing.
no,
Yeah.
I find that very endearing though. I've been I've been working on a few letters actually. One is to Sarah, and one's to a old middle school
It's
teacher.
interesting though.
One's to a
Oh,
no.
wait, a what?
An old middle school teacher of mine.
Okay, that's what I thought I heard. I was like, whoa, okay. Listen
shut,
up, bitch.
shut up. No,
I told you I was good at math. Look at me now. Third
nah.
year in college. You said I'd drop out by now.
check out check out my degree. That's gonna be mailed to me virtually. Um,
Oh,
but yeah,
Minecraft graduation.
yeah, I find mailing letters. I don't know. I haven't finished the letters yet because my problem is like I like to be thorough with things and I want to get my whole point across through a letter. Like put out all my
I
thoughts.
enjoy the back and forth more.
Hmm.
So that's why the whole like waiting a long time to just have a short conversation really sucks. Because after a certain point, I feel like mentally I've passed the point of wanting to talk about that specific thing.
Oh
Which is
no.
like
I
that.
hope
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like
I hope you don't misunderstand. I get there are people that do that. Yes, like pen pals. I am not trying to be a pen pal to someone. I'm just trying to. I want.
yeah, this thing going on. I feel like that wouldn't be necessary.
Yeah. No, like the thing with pen pals, I agree with you. I don't think pen pals work. Like, hey, how are you? You know, what's the weather like in
I
your
would go
area?
insane, dude.
I would too, because
Like I'd die before the conversation ended. Like
yeah, I would be out of stamps by then, and I would like spend another 20 bucks
happy
on stamps.
birthday 3 days later.
I'm very forget the word for cheap. I'm very cheap and
cheap. That's the
cheap
word.
cheap, and I don't want to like spend a lot on stamps. Sounds kind of lame, but stamps are so expensive, honestly. Like you
Dude,
get
send emails, my guy.
bro, are you still riding horseback, sending letters to people? Like, yeah,
Electronic mail.
yeah. The way I want to go about writing letters though is like I want each letter to matter. Like you either get one or two letters in your lifetime from me, and that's like those letters are like I pour my heart out to this person, like everything that they've meant to me. It's like appreciation letters, honestly. It's not like something I mean to send. Cause like I don't know, I've been thinking about how to go about these letters. And like I really appreciate this guy, so I want to like draw pictures on it for him. And like I'm
That's a
still
lot more heart than I would have put in it. That's another
it's
thing. I don't think I'm like.
I think it's good though. I think it's good
Sorry, my
for
voice just like cracked really
no,
hard.
that's okay. I think that's really good. I think it's really good for myself too though, because I like I think by getting my thoughts out there for like someone I appreciate, I think it sounds kind of corny when I say it, but I like learn more about
No, it
myself
makes sense.
because like this
I
person.
couldn't. I don't know
What?
why though.
I'm
Oh no,
trying
I
to
just couldn't.
I've been trying to be more like thoughtful and appreciative of my life, like because I don't being alone. I've had a lot of time to think about things, and I want to like let people know. It sounds like I'm about to die, but
Dear so and
I
so,
I don't have
I
much
only
time.
have 3 days left.
No, you see like a
By
trail
the
of
time you are reading this,
you see like a trail of blood in my last like sincerely.
by the time you read this, I will already be gone. Like,
Yeah. Yeah,
I want to say
but
that's just sort of the feeling that comes with writing stuff like letters, like physical letters. I feel.
I think writing letters puts me in a puts me in a position to be more thoughtful, though. Not just about the person, but about myself. Like, where these thoughts are coming from. Like why did
I feel like I've.
why did I
Oh, go ahead.
find why did I find value in them? Why did I appreciate them? It's because what I find valuable in life, and I find friends valuable. I find whatever they taught me valuable, like how to be a good person or blah blah blah. And it's very like it's not a letter just to them. It's like a letter even. It sounds kind of like it's a letter to myself. If it makes any sense.
I need you to proofread this for me.
Yeah.
It's about you, but but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I've had a lot of time, but it's not just due to like Corona. Like I said, like the lifestyle I've lived.
Mhm.
Like over vacations, I always end up just laying there at some point and just doing a lot of thinking. So I always end up at that point where I end up like thinking about like why did I think this? And then I'm like, and then like if you spend time on that, you get there. And a lot of the time, like with like the way life is and how fast paced it is and how you always have to be like moving ahead and stuff like that, you don't really have time to sit back and like think about stuff like that. So it's really good that you get that now.
Mhm.
For me personally, I don't think I could like do the whole writing letters thing because I feel like that's like a level of like deep I haven't like gone down. Like not even in.
You didn't take this? Oh shit, right.
We're recording an episode.
Who's that?
You see how she abuses me? Oh yeah, she came in with like sheets, but I already grabbed some.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Oh, you just where you left off. You said
I don't
you couldn't
remember.
you couldn't reach that point of writing someone letters because you didn't
You gonna
like.
edit that out?
I could, but I also can choose not to.
Yeah, it's
It
your
doesn't.
choice.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a private video. It's not really going anywhere.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. You said you're not you don't know if letters or something you'll ever write because
No, yeah, I don't think I could do that because it's not like it's like a level of thinking that like because I don't think it's just like straightforward. I don't think it's like just like vertical. I think it's like branching paths, and I've like gone down a path of thinking, and you've
that's
gone down
exactly
another
right.
path.
Total.
Yeah, so
I
I
think
just
I think
like
that makes
haven't
total
reached.
sense.
Yeah, I haven't reached that level down that path, so that's why I don't think I could actually do that.
Do you feel like you're tunnel vision right now? Like you have a particular way of thinking? Like I think I know
I just
where
feel like I'm
maybe.
exploring certain paths mentally about myself
Yeah. No,
and
that makes
being able to
sense.
understand myself while writing and like thinking about why I appreciate people isn't something I've done.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't know where to start right now. So I'd
Mhm.
have to like find
Yeah.
like I guess you could say the entrance to that path.
I don't know what's going through your head. So like, but I think I
Same for
know where
you.
you I know I don't know exactly what's in your head, but I know where you're coming from. Like there are times when I didn't appreciate people because I had other thoughts in my head, like school, or like I just wanted to. I don't know. Could have been like I've been trying to focus more on religion or like friends or I don't know. Definitely a lot of thoughts. Like I don't know if you've had like being stressed from school even that kept me away from appreciating people. But
First semester sophomore year, very bad time, very bad time. At least from what I've heard, that was very bad for a lot of people that
hmm
semester.
yeah,
It just like hit everyone like a train.
yeah,
Classes got harder. You didn't have as much free time as you did freshman year.
it's weird. Yeah, yeah, no, no, yeah, I would say the same like you. I think it was during spring semester during when the quarantine was kind of getting crazy that like I really started to skyrocket and I was like, why am I like trying harder now? But I think my fall semester was really bad too. Like it
I
wasn't
think it was
it
how
wasn't
bad fall was that made me like strive forward a bit.
mm,
Because I had reached a point where I was just like I think I was convinced I was like actually depressed that semester. And I couldn't notice it. I couldn't tell on my own. It was when I hung out with like high school friends that they were like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Oh my god, I don't think I am."
Are
So then
those
I was just like,
things are those things like you're comfortable talking about? Like what were do you know what things that were you were struggling
"I'm
with?
over
Maybe. Okay,
it."
that's good.
Yeah,
So are you so
but yeah.
you're in a lot better place now?
Oh, significantly.
Okay,
I was in a
that's
lot
good.
better place by like January.
Do you know what it
Like
was?
I had time over winter to think. It was a bunch of like multitude of things that came.
Do you
There
know
was the
what it
whole
was
like
that
Shayna shindig. Then
yeah,
there was like
do you know what it was that
classes.
got you over the hump though?
I just like sat there and just sort of thought for a long time, like
Hmm.
during winter break.
Like
And then
you just let it go.
I thought about just all the things that had come at me. Also, I had worked hard that semester because what
Uh-huh.
happened is that like everything hit me like a train. So like I was doing bad in classes, my financial aid was being threatened. So when I had to like work
Right.
on that stuff to like get on it, I got my financial aid back, and I was like, all I can really do at this point is just focus on my grades. Because
Yeah.
one big problem I had was that I cared more about my social like life than I did my education.
Mhm.
Where that like that's why I was there. So then I was like, maybe I should just focus more on education. And I did. I just focused more on my classes. I was like, let me just do my work, then I'll try and go have fun. And I did. Because I remember what happened that like week. I just got hit by it hit me like a freaking truck. Like everything just came crashing down in the span of 1 week. And I don't know. I just did like a turnaround, and by like the second wave of midterms, like the following month, I had passed all of them.
Mm.
And I feel like I like had just felt really good. Like a weight had just come off my shoulder. Like I
Yeah.
don't know.
Gotcha. I think a lot of the Hill gang were really worried about you because I don't know. I mean, I think everyone was at a different place. Like everyone was really busy. Um, but
Mm-hmm.
when we saw that you weren't able to hang with us certain days, or you just worried, you have a lot on your plate right now, and it felt bad because like, what could we do? There's nothing we could do to like help you out with it. That's kind of like what like ate at my head because like I remember talking to you, like you were trying to like pay your loans and like you had like financial problems, but like it's kind of, there's nothing I don't think I could have done. Like I had stuff
There's nothing I could have done. Like
I mean I had like my own problems like sophomore year too, spring semester, fall semester, and like I was like trying to figure things out for myself, and
I think that's one of the reasons too
I couldn't help but
why I
feel
hate
bad.
Corona so much. Yeah.
That's all.
Okay. I'm sorry about that.
No,
But
you're good.
yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why I hated Corona so much. In the sense that like spring semester, I finally felt like I was getting back on my feet, and I was like finally like building up towards something. And whatever the hell I was building up to just got like smacked. It was done. Like got snuffed out by something I couldn't control.
I
So
think
I
you
don't know what
mentioned
I was moving towards.
I think you mentioned one of the things you mentioned was friends. Like you were getting to know friends very well, but Corona came along and the friendships that you were starting to build up to, were cut short. That's probably one of the things, right?
Did I?
Yeah. I don't remember where we talked about this. I think it was I think we were still on campus when you mentioned it, but you said
Oh,
you were
all right. So this was a while ago when I brought this up. I thought this was like earlier. Okay.
no.
All right.
I mean, there's probably other. I mean, I imagine there's other things that will, but are friends one of them? Like you got to know friends better. Started to because like
I enjoy
you cut some people
meeting
out of
new
your life.
people.
Yeah.
Did I?
Um.
I think I just leaned more towards like the like I don't know how to refer them other than like the Webster crew.
Yeah. That's
Like
very
I just sort of
accurate.
leaned I
Kidding.
just leaned more towards that than what I was doing before, which was good.
Mm.
Because like yeah, I had two friend groups freshman year, and the first one like imploded.
That's what I was. That's what I was referring to.
Yeah, like not in the sense of like people were at each other's throats. It was just more like people just drifted apart.
Okay.
So it was just like this half is over here, that half is over here. It
Yeah, I
was
hear
kind of
you.
weird to see that. So that was a thing to deal with.
Mm.
But yeah, I just sort of walked away from a lot of that. At the
Mm.
end of the day, I did end up on a side, so that's just where I am. But I don't like to think too much about how it like split.
But now with Corona, is that stuff still relevant to you? Like, you want to keep in touch with those people, or?
Oh no, like yeah, I still talk to them. Yeah,
Mhm.
but like I don't know, talking in general to people has not been a very apparent thing.
Yeah,
I have not had a verbal conversation with people in a very long time.
yeah. I want to believe that I am like very self-sufficient, and all I need is to be by myself. But I had a call the other day, and that like just really pumped me up, honestly, because I used to do this I don't know what the word is, but like we had a little scholarship group. It was me, this one guy from India, and we just kind of bounced scholarship ideas off each other, and found scholarships that worked for each other, kept each other accountable, and help each other meet deadlines. It was super healthy too. But it really fell off. It really fell off, like even before Corona, even because we just got really busy with our lives. But this good friend of mine, he says he knew about it, and he was like, well, what if we started this back up again? Like had a little triangle, a little triad of like just moving moving scholarships around. And I was like, this is great. Like this is exactly what I needed to get me moving with my day. Because
I think you
honestly,
brought that up before, right?
I did. I think I've talked to you about this before. And those are like the kind of relationships that really pump me up and like give me meaning to like stop sitting in my room and thinking so much. Um, because even before this conversation, I was just kind of sitting around, like like I need direction. Like when I keep myself busy, it's nice to think things over, but when I keep myself busy, it's like when I'm best growing. If that makes sense. Like I got to be doing something. Because if I'm sitting around, I like that's worse. I hate that so much. Like yeah. Um.
Yeah. I feel like any progress I was making towards like the halfway point of last semester definitely got snuffed out. Being just here in the house all the time, just sort of sitting around, not doing anything, not going anywhere.
Are we talking also about like academic progress, like internships or like?
Yeah, no progress there
Yeah, no, no.
for me.
I'm in the same boat, man.
Um, that's one of the things that worries me, especially because I'm still 50-50 with my major.
Mhm.
It isn't that I'm doing it because like I've made it this far, so I might as well. But
Yeah.
I can definitely say that like I wouldn't be happy doing this. That's kind of the world we live in. No, you can't really do the things that make you happy, at
Mhm.
least not for a living. I can't even say world. I'd say country, but
It's
you know,
yeah. I don't know what goes on in other countries. I think America with all its flaws, you have I think the game is a little rigged, but you know, I
a
think
little.
I think you do have a lot of power and say in things, and like the amount of networking and like skills you train yourself in, I think you open up a lot of doors for yourself. Um, like I don't want to have the attitude that I can't do something that I want, because that's just gonna set the bar real low for me. Like I don't want to think like that, because
I get that.
yeah, I don't want. I do hear what you're saying though. Like, because sometimes at the end of the day, what is a job really? Like it's to support yourself, to do something that maybe you do find more meaningful than a job.
Hmm.
But sometimes people's careers are meaningful to them. Like they're
I
doing
say
something.
those people are really lucky when you're doing something you love.
Yeah. Um. But like sometimes also like when people do have the opportunity, like let's say they choose to go through computer science, but they end up hating the career. Like sometimes it's not you're not always gonna like the career you do. Like I feel like I feel like people always say that if you got to be 100% passionate about this to choose that career, but I feel like that's bullshit. Like I feel like because here's the thing, you don't know what the career is like until you've done it, right? Like you don't know what it's like to be a computer scientist or a doctor or a marine biologist until you've actually done it. Like
Yeah, because I've heard like opposite stories where like the person was like taking classes in like a certain major and they hated it, but then the moment they got to the actual job, they loved it.
Hmm.
So I know that that's a thing.
Like
So there's
career,
always a chance I might end up enjoying it.
there was
But
a
I highly doubt that.
there was a statistic I heard the other day. It was from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. It said that I think it was 87, almost 90% of learners, like people like learning to choose a career, they change their career 8 or 7 times. So like they move around a lot. Like you're like we think that we're gonna choose a career. Our expectations that things are gonna work out, and we're gonna work at this place for like 30, 40 years, and then we're gonna die.
Yeah.
But naturally, like that's just not how it works out. You know, we always move around. Like our opinions change, and maybe we didn't
Yeah.
find this as important as we thought. 'Cause, I mean, we're pretty young. Like there's still a
I
lot.
wondered I wonder a lot if like if you were given the opportunities you were given in college to see like different opportunities that you could take a lot earlier, like maybe in high school and stuff like that, because I know some high schools do, but most don't.
Yeah.
I wonder if that would affect you.
No, I think it would.
Because like
I think it
that's
would.
yeah, because that's something I never had. Because I know people who like in high school they were like, I'm gonna do this. This is the thing I want to do, and I did not have that mentality.
Mm.
Like I literally practically just like literally practically. Yeah, I pretty much just rolled the die for what I wanted. Like I did good in an engineering class, so I was like, oh, engineering's fun.
Mm.
And then like I've told the story a couple of times. It's really, but yeah, when I applied, it asked, what did you want to go into? And I was like, oh, I want to go into engineering. And then it gave me multiple different types, and I was like, there's more than one. I didn't know that it varied. So
Yeah.
I just saw computer, and I was like, I like computers, and then I went for that.
Yeah. I wish I knew that
Blind
too.
faith.
I I
Like,
I thought I wanted to be a marine biologist for the longest time until I did an internship with Northeastern where I got to have a lot of insight on what it is to be like a researcher, um, specifically like a university researcher. Um, and that's honestly just one scope. So I don't have the full picture of what it means, like all the opportunities. Like even then, I don't know the full picture, but I did get a glimpse. And there was a lot of things about the career that turned me off about, being a university researcher. There's so many things you have to
I
pay
feel like
off.
that's one of the things too. Like, no one wants to really do the university research kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's a
Because you
reality.
tend to you tend to think about like the like more like hardcore like being out there in the field, like
Yeah.
field research is what
Hmm.
most people have in mind. Because field research is significantly more fun.
Those are like the
You
veterans.
know.
Those are the people who,
Yeah, as I
work.
say, you don't just dump in. Yeah, you don't just dive into that.
Yeah, no, 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 no. It's not
You
that
know.
easy. Yeah, those people that do that, they're like the veterans. They've been doing it for like 20 or 30 plus years, and they have all their grant money figured out, and they start executing their own like projects. Like, yeah, um, it's
Hmm.
crazy. It's crazy how slow like it is, and like our expectations are so high. Um, but at the same time, I don't think it's impossible though to like coming back to what I said previously, like even though like a certain career you have is like may not be like as achievable, like the game may be rigged. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of biases in like employment and the job market, but I still believe that like it's possible, like as long as you work hard enough. Not saying like it's not fair, but I feel like it's possible. I have this optimism that like with the right attitude, it sounds kind of cheesy, like because there's still like I don't want to. I can accept if I don't get a certain career, but I feel like it's still in my grasp. I don't. And here's the thing: I don't know that for sure, but I want to find out though. Like I think it'll be interesting to see how far I go. Like I
What
don't
are
want
you doing in particular right now?
to. I'm doing biology and informatics. I might drop the informatics major because I don't know if I'm going to graduate with a completed informatics minor or not. Wait, did I say minor? It's a major. So a double major, biology and informatics, and I don't know if I'm gonna
You,
graduate.
Mr. Big Brain.
No. Like it was when I did that internship with Northeastern that I realized I don't know if I want to go solely.
Was that
into-
before your freshman year or after?
What was?
Did you walk in with a double major, or
No,
that a
that was
decision, like,
sophomore
second
year.
year?
That was second year when
So
I.
you did so you went to Northeastern during like the summer after
No,
freshman
yeah,
year or
yeah.
something?
That was when I finished high school. I did the internship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that was completely through network. I did not have any skills. They just through people I knew. They knew I was interested in marine biology, and they're like, hey, this person's working on this project, and you can help her out in the lab, and she can also like show you around to the staff and get to know things better in the lab. But yeah, it was that insight I got from working at the lab that when I went to UMass, like freshman year, first semester, one of the classes I took was CS 121 because I thought like I don't want to keep myself restricted to just biology. Like data science is so big now. Like what can I do with that? How can I like explain why things happen? It's like I don't know. I feel like it's really good in research and it pays like fairly well.
Yeah.
Where was I going with all this? But yeah, I still I just want to add to my last thought previously that about how like achieving a goal. I don't. Here's my biggest regret in life. Like if I die, if I'm like on the verge of death, and I don't come
And you're
close.
writing letters to all your friends.
Exactly, and I'm thinking about how like how I could have done this or how I could have done this better. Like why didn't I try harder to see if this was possible or not instead of just like
I feel like that's just gonna happen with a lot of things, though. Like there are a lot of things that I definitely regret that I've done, and I'm only 20 years old. Like things I just wish
That's
like I
fine.
either tried harder on and stuff like that. And I'm just like, oh,
Yeah,
had I just done this one thing, that could have gone better.
I'm really hard on
I could have
myself.
gone here. I could have gone there.
Are you hard on
I've
yourself too,
known this
or
person. Huh?
are you also hard on yourself? Like,
Oh, of course.
yeah.
I literally had like this thing where I said in like junior year. This mentality isn't the same. But in junior year, I literally told someone, I was like, yeah, not a day goes by where I don't hate myself from yesterday. And they were like, Jesus, dude, calm down.
Is this the engineer mentality?
That was before engineering.
Okay. He was like,
It
oh,
was like I was undirected. I didn't know what I was doing. Just every day just kind of happened. I didn't
yeah.
want to do anything, and I didn't think too far ahead.
Mm.
And not even just like in like a lazy mindset, but simply just in a like I just didn't know what I could do.
Mm.
Because like I'm doing well in my major, well, all right in my major, but I feel like had I gone into anything else, it probably would have gone this way. So I feel like I was just sort of undirected and had this like pent up like motivation, but nothing to aim it at.
Mm.
So I just threw it at something, and that's just what I ended up doing. So I feel like had I gone down any other path, I feel like the same thing just would have ended up happening.
Mm. Really? The same thing would have happened as in.
Like how I don't know, I hated it first, and then eventually it was like, I've made it this far, I might as well keep going. And I'm good. I will say I found things in this major that I like, but not necessarily like this is what I want to do in my life.
Yeah.
This is my future.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. No, those are pretty honest thoughts I have as well. I feel like the reason why I came to appreciate my major better is because like that teacher I mentioned in middle school, and I just kind of fell in love with it from there. And
The major or the teacher?
Shut up! Oh, you're gonna make me blush. I can empathize with because I definitely have rocky points in my major where I felt like, what's the point of this, anyways? But like you do yourself, you sit and think about stuff, and I think those are good conversations to have with yourself.
Sometimes I do wish I could have them with other people, because there are times
What?
where I reach certain like these kind of conversations, like these like mental building ones.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes I reach certain roadblocks where I'm just sort of like, like I need someone else's input because it's like I don't know what this certain thing is like, but I know people who do.
Yeah.
So it's like I'd like to get their input so I'd know how to go like forward with that. But that just doesn't happen, so I just sort of forget it
Mm.
and then just
You
keep
have
chugging along.
yeah.
I can't think of one right now though. Like
Think of what?
I don't know, like I don't know, like one of those thoughts where like I'd need someone else's input on it. I'm not entirely sure.
Mm. I I don't know. Sometimes I don't need people exactly to get input from. Sometimes I just need like inspiration from anything. Like my goals lately are try to get more involved in things that I didn't know about before. Like stay subscribed to like newsletters I find interesting, or check out blogs about data scientists
People
and
writing autobiographies and stuff, you know.
yeah, I mean these letters are kind of helping me too, but like hearing from people that know what they're doing in their careers already give me insight. Like I'm
Mhm.
not just stay updated to what's going on in like data science. Which I haven't done. I'm making it sound like I've done all this stuff. I've only sort of like to peek into it first. But just from doing that, I like have an idea more of what I'm getting into. Um, I don't know if that's the kind of input you're talking about. Like you
I think
don't.
I'm talking more on like how I think rather than
Okay.
what I think.
Oh, okay.
So like
Yeah, yeah,
how I
yeah.
approach certain circumstances
Hmm.
rather than what I think of certain
Are
circumstances,
we talking
how
about
to
like
do certain things.
are we talking about soft skills like how do you get your thoughts out there? Like how do you think?
More kind of like why I would do something or why I should do something.
Interesting. Yeah.
That's just kind of like I have this thought where I'm just like I do this thing and I'm like someone's like, oh, you should do this thing, and I'm just like, why? You know,
Yeah.
like why should I do that?
Mm. And it
And a
helps
lot of the
to
time that just kind of gets like flushed down.
yeah, it helps for you to bounce these ideas off of people. My problem is that like I mean, I'm really impressed that you got through CS 250 and like or even a computer engineer. Like I could not imagine myself going that far without some sort of like knowing the whys in my motivation because
It's really odd, yeah.
I'm very
Like literally the only motivation is don't fail, and that's it. That's what just keeps me going.
surprisingly that really works for a lot of people honestly, and I wish I don't know if I want that to be my drive because I don't want
It's
that
not a good drive though, because the problem is that
is it
it's sort of directionless. Because the problem
I
with it is that
mean
you're just sort of going for the sake of going. You're
I
going
mean
because you can, but not because you want to.
do you think that in the long run it doesn't matter because maybe you'll figure out what you want to do? Like maybe I figure out what I want to do now, but
I don't even know because the fear is I don't know what I'm going to do when I cross the finish line.
okay.
But when I make it all the way, because I'm forcing myself to, what do I do once I finally make it?
Huh?
Because you knew halfway through that you didn't really want to do it, but you kept going because it was like, I'm too far down. Why turn
Yeah.
back now?
There's a good
To make
analogy.
it, it's like, I don't want to be here.
There's a good
Oh,
analogy
yeah. I've
Conan
become the
O'Brien
analogy man
Conan
lately.
O'Brien uses. It's
And
success is like a white tuxedo, and once you get the tuxedo, you're afraid of getting it dirty again. Like, um, I guess we don't. Well, before I make the analogy too confusing, even like success is a very loose term. Like everyone's definition of success is different. And once you find success, maybe you realize maybe there's something greater than that. Like I don't know how many people in this world actually find success to them. I mean, I think a lot of people do find happiness. I think people stumble out though. But back to the analogy. I think it's okay. I mean, you probably thought about this too, but it's okay to like start over. Like there's no shame.
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's
Yeah,
there's no
like,
sh- there's no
yeah,
shame in like feeling that um like you're a slave to like how good of a place you're in right now. And I'm talking about when you reach that success. Like I don't know. This isn't really relevant to what you're doing, right? Because you haven't reached success yet. You know,
Hmm.
like so. I guess it's not entirely relevant, but
But it's whether or not I'd call it a success when I make it.
yeah, I think that's a better question to ask yourself first. Whether like where do you see this career making you successful? You know, um,
Mm.
and this is such an abstract, general like topic. It's hard to really like
Oh
give
yeah.
really give good advice like what you find success is because like I mean I mean for me I don't have a good answer either, honestly. I just find it interesting and it supports me, and I don't have big ambitions for this world. I'm not trying to save the planet. I'm not trying to change.
Neither am I.
I'm not
Yeah,
trying
I
to
get that.
I'm not trying to change like the political game or anything. My ambitions aren't that big, and I just like having my family and friends around. Um, so I don't know. I feel like I don't know what my success is yet. That's something for me to think about as well. Because the problem is that like I learn new things about life. Like when I talk to you and other people, I get perspective. Like, huh, maybe this is something I should work on myself more. Like working on yourself. Um, I don't know, just wanting to be better in different ways, like appreciating your culture, appreciating your family. I'm definitely just like going run on right now. But I think I'm very much in the I don't know department like you.
Yeah, this is a very big I don't know topic, and that's the problem I see right now with it.
I
And
think
since
it's
I
good.
feel like
I
we're
think it's
running
good.
on fumes compared to the previous conversation,
I think it's good
the
to tack.
unrecorded
I think
one.
it. Yeah, yeah. No, I think it's important to talk about, and during alone time, you figure that stuff out on your own. But
Mm.
no, I agree. This isn't a conversation that's it's a good conversation to have. I don't think it's one that is
I don't think it's one that you'll reach a conclusion on,
hmm
at least not now.
I agree with you.
It's one of those like only time will tell type ones
Yeah.
where you won't reach your conclusion until you get there and
hmm
find out what's going on.
And I
It's
think
just
this.
sort of like a
Yeah.
big like I wonder what would happen if this happened.
And I
But
feel
until you
like
do it, you don't know.
I feel like this is very much a personal journey for you too. Like I'm
It's an
not gonna.
experimental.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give you the answer to all these like life changing questions.
Yeah.
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 But
I think that's what
I
happens
think
when you
I
do
want
something
to.
along
I
those
do like.
scales.
I do like knowing what's going on in your head and your thought process because like I don't know, people give me energy, and I like to like be able to relate with people because I don't know,
Hmm.
perspective is always good to have.
It's fun to get to know people.
Yeah,
It always is.
be
The
start to
social part of it is very
yeah.
good.
Now there's a lot of reasons why I like doing the podcast format, just to talk with people really and get better at talking to people, so that I can dig into people in a more like meaningful way because I'm not trying to do small talk for like 2 hours, Like, hey, so how's your day? Like, how's the weather? That's great. Like, what's your favorite food? These are the kind of
No
ice.
way, me too. Oh my god.
Dude, you like to eat
What?
food?
Hang on, dude. What? Yeah. I think this
Dude,
was
did you
definitely
know?
one of
Did
those
you
like
know if you respelled eight, it gets you get eat like that wild? Sorry, I cut you
yeah.
off.
Huh?
I cut you off. You were about to say
I didn't
something.
know where I was going. Like,
I'm sorry.
see, the thing with
You're
this
literally you're
conversation
literally
is,
driving you're literally driving these trains and like I'm the conductor. I'm like like no.
yeah, because the problem is that the conversation that we were just having was a very big like hypothetical one,
hmm
and the problem with hypotheticals is that they're hypothetical.
Yeah.
They haven't
I
happened,
uh
so there's not
I
a lot to go off with that.
I feel like I'm at square one again where my job was to get to know someone better and all we did at the beginning was talk about your race, and that's like not who you are though. Like you're not just you don't want your identity is not just your race. And I decided to bring up college and careers, and that's a hard question because we're still young. This isn't like Joe Rogan where I bring in an expert and talk about how you figured everything out already. So I
I
guess
think you've
that's
cracked the code on life.
so yeah. But I don't know. There's definitely everyone's different though. I wouldn't count that question out because I know a guy who's part of my like scholarship group. He's like he's a very inspiring guy for me. Like he's younger. He's a freshman. Well, he's a sophomore now, but I find him like very inspiring to talk to because he's a very
Good.
hardworking guy, and like I don't know.
Inspirational people are always nice. They're usually a good drive. When you see someone who's really inspired by what they're doing, that usually inspires you,
Exactly.
even if you're not
And
doing the same thing.
yeah. And so like that's why I wouldn't shoot this question out the door. But maybe I think I have to get to know the person better too. And maybe
Yeah,
I
the
should
problem with
maybe
me in particular is just that I'm kind of driveless.
no, that's okay.
Because
I should I
my
could have left
drive is
this
very
I could have
simplistic.
left this question alone like a while ago now. But I think it also helps me as well though to like talk about.
Mhm.
But that's okay.
Yeah, because like you said, the other people you've interviewed, you've hit like the nail on the head so far. Like what they want to talk about, because what you usually ask them, they usually know a lot about it and
Yeah.
want to talk about it.
Mhm.
So yeah, this this
This is
this
very
specific topic, like I
this is
didn't mind the
very
first one, but this one is definitely a little bit more like out of my element. Like I said
yeah, that's
before,
okay.
like
This is
you would ask me, and I said like the short answer is no, I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah,
man. I gotta do a better job at this.
I mean it's not even doing a bad job. It was simply just a bad question for me in particular,
Yeah.
because it was a question where I just didn't have a lot to say on it.
Let's do you mind segueing then?
Yeah, sure.
This is a total this skirt skirt. This isn't this sometimes my questions don't even have build-ups. Sometimes they're like you're driving a car and you don't even use your you don't even use a turn signal. You just like hard turn. Yeah. Skirt skirt. Yeah, do you have thoughts on marriage by any chance?
Damn. I don't know, man.
Yeah. Answers.
All I really have to say on it is I don't really, for me personally, don't like the idea of getting married until after 25 because I feel like before that you don't really know who you are. So settling down with someone who probably doesn't know who they are yet is a
Yeah.
bit much. Plus, it's a big commitment. That's my same thing on like having kids too. I don't
Mhm.
really like the idea of having kids before 25. If it happens, it happens. You know, like if you
That makes
mess
sense.
up,
That makes
have that
sense.
weak ass pullout game. You know, like,
Oh shit.
there you go.
That makes a lot of sense for you, especially because you definitely have a lot to figure out first with like your
Yeah,
careers.
I don't know anything.
So I agree with you. I wouldn't start a relationship young either. I think that might depend. I'm a little betwixt in between because my interview with Sarah, she said she wants to get married early and have kids like before 30, and I wasn't sure what she meant by before 30. Like could
Right
be
now, he just won't let me.
no, that's true. That's true. That's what her boyfriend told her, that like he doesn't like the stereotype. He doesn't like the stereotype of like white Christians getting married because that's like a stereotype.
Oh,
I see it a lot in my
stereotyps, like they keep coming up.
and
There you go. Stereotypes. It's a big one.
he's fighting the stereotype.
Damn, we should have recorded that. That was like my best moment. Like,
It's
I had so
okay,
much to say on that topic.
dude. Record or not, like no one's watching this, and you have so many more opportunities. I don't think that's your one hit wonder. You have so much more that's important and like that makes you interesting. Okay.
Also, when you record these, how does it look? Like, does it look like your camera's on the top and then it's just my camera on the bottom? Is that like what the
Uh,
recording looks?
looks the way it is. These two boxes right next to each other.
That's not what I have going on. I have my camera, like a little tiny one up on the top, and then yours is like the big screen on the bottom.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I guess not then. It's
That's just
like
the way my layout looks. So I was just wondering how it would look on
My layout is like
Figure it
two equal sized boxes right next to each other.
I think I could edit mine to do that, but I just don't know. Oh well. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
So,
marriage
but
is not a
she says
biggie.
she's ready. Everyone,
Kudos to
everybody's
her. She's there.
yeah.
That's not me. I'm not.
Everybody else is in a different place, and I can just leave it at that.
I have zero experience, bro. I
I don't
marriage is
know.
like
This is
like
similar.
that is beyond me.
This is a similar conversation to careers because you have no idea what the career is like. Same thing. We don't know what marriage is like.
Hmm.
I think it's good to have an idea, like because
Yeah,
eventually,
committing too
eventually,
early seems a little bit like a little to me right now.
eventually you're gonna have to get the job, and eventually you're gonna have to get married if you choose to. It's gonna happen if you want to do it, and
Hmm.
I guess it depends on how mentally ready you are for it. So that's why I asked. People think about this stuff early. Some people mentally prepare themselves for marriage very early, um, because of like relationships they've had. I have never been in a relationship before, but I do think about this stuff a lot, like where like kids or
No, yeah, definitely. Like I've met like
if
someone
you want to
before.
talk about something, maybe give me suggestions in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. No, I'm kidding.
Let me just shout out my channel real quick.
This is
Yeah.
make sure to subscribe to Steph Timothy.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's like one of those topics where I don't know. That's like a really far ahead thing. Like I said, like before 25, it just seems a bit early. Because I feel like by 25, I don't think that like you know what you're doing, but I want to believe you have some kind of stability. Not everyone, but like
Yeah.
I want to believe I'll be stable by 25. Not strong, but stable.
Okay. I don't really have a timeline for myself, but
Hmm.
definitely maybe that sounds about right. I guess. I don't know.
That's just like the okay mark for me. I have zero
Sure.
intentions on being married by then. That's not happening.
Yeah.
All
Mm-hmm.
right, like that's definitely jumping the gun for me. All right, like
I got it.
I'd have to accomplish to
I
get to
got
that.
it. I got it. I got it. We can
Like,
segue.
dude, like you have no
Oh,
idea
dude,
like
the
how I.
subject. It's done. It's done. We segue. That's how it works. You don't want to talk about it. We move on.
But yeah, I don't know.
It's weird. The best conversation we had was like the most uncomfortable for me because I like literally did something. I literally started saying something that I knew like was wrong
Yeah,
to
you
say.
were immediately like, dude, no, like that's not what I. Yeah, I don't know.
This reminds me of like comedians who like do drugs and
What?
like alcohol like to stay like comedically artistic, because like I think because like George Carlin or Richard Pryor, they always talk about how like their drug use has kind of helped them like stay on their toes and like what's the word, like sharp, honestly. And and George, yeah, they mentioned, but like eventually it starts to die off. Like the reason why I mentioned that, I was like, what if I write on this? What if I like stay um, like jabbing and like really, like, like, like ask the wrong questions? What about what if that's my thing on my podcast? I always ask the wrong questions and
I'll just
put.
like hit the hang up button and just. All right, this has been fun, man. Like it's been really cool. I'm just gonna.
No, I mean, if you're ready to, I don't know. I still feel like I'm in a stump. I feel like I'm a bit stumped. I want to like, these are
Like
good.
what? Like with me in general, or just like.
No, for my next podcast, honestly, I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know who to have on next, but and I'm in the same boat where I don't know
Hey
these people.
son, hey son,
I don't know
hey
these.
son, hey son.
Dude, I don't know if I want Asen on right now because I'll give him time. I'll give him time
Mhm.
to himself
Oh yeah,
to.
because yeah, he his online classes.
Yeah, but at the same time, I feel like, we set a time and a day, and I'm a little bit hurt that you didn't show up. So I'm a,
I mean, the same thing just happened just now. Like we have a CS250 group, like a little group chat thing, where it's like our little like small group from that,
Mhm.
and like they were like setting up to hang out. It's irrelevant to me because I can't hang out, but like yeah, they were setting up to hang out, and he wanted to, but he just canceled just now because of his
Mhm.
classes.
Yeah.
I think the classes are just sort of hitting him like a truck right now. So yeah, that makes sense. That's what happened with Sid. Like the whole apartment thing was like he couldn't work because he had classes,
Mhm.
so he didn't have any cash on him.
Yeah.
And
I think it does help to get to know the person better before I start making assumptions and making questions I don't know about them.
yeah,
Do you think that's a good idea? Just to like call them beforehand and like get a
the
chat
problem with
about.
the call them beforehand thing is how I feel with this and how we like had like really good conversation compared to like
I gotta
what's
be
been
I gotta be
recorded.
ready. I gotta be have like this intuition, like, we're about to talk about something really good, and then I hit the record button.
Yeah, because that was a very strong conversation compared to the rest of this,
Mm-hmm.
which just makes this whole thing here seem even more odd because they're just like because it's just like this whole like man that conversation was ooh that was a doozy man that
That's
was
kind
really something.
of that's kind of what I think about how the best like interviewers are. Like nobody cares about how was your day. Nobody cares about small talk, like that's not interesting. But when you dig deep and ask like questions that make people really like when you dig at people's like self-esteem or insecurities maybe, or maybe that's not even right, something that I don't know, it definitely wasn't small talk question when I said to you like I like that you act like a normal guy. That
I think
definitely.
that and the fact that the conversation segued into something bigger,
Yeah.
and that's how that worked out. Whereas these other ones didn't. They just sort of snuffed out. Like it
Yeah,
was like you were trying to start a fire, and the last one erupted, but this one just like kind of died out.
I think the plan is to keep things relatable. Like the reason why we brought it bigger because we brought up this bigger topic because it was related to you. Like how I like my plan was to like I was like I was in trouble with like stereotyping and like making assumptions, and that's kind of how it progressed into this bigger conversation. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm in the ballpark. I just don't know exactly how what the key is to a good conversation. Like asking those deeper
I feel
questions.
like a lot of people don't though. Because end of the day, it depends on how well you know the person. Because if you know the person really well, you know good conversations are. But the whole thing with this is that you don't really know the people very well, and
Uh-huh.
you want to.
I wanna.
So I guess it comes down to what they're willing to talk about.
Uh-huh.
Is that what I'm trying to
I do
boil down
like.
to?
I do think asking really provocative, like sometimes uncomfortable questions, are good.
Mhm.
Are key to
I think that was it too. I feel like the questions that sort of flopped were too normal. Like the whole like,
Uh-huh.
what do you want to do when you grow up? What's your plan for your future?
It's too it's there's no
That's
like
like what
risk.
your uncle asks you when like at the family get together, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas like your uncle's not gonna ask you like
Dude.
your uncle's gonna be like, dude, you're like a regular guy compared to those other like
Dude, no, no.
that's not
I
gonna
would
be like lobbed up.
I would remember that uncle for ages if he asked me that. Maybe that's my thing. I ask really provocative questions. We'll see. Because the thing about it that I really liked about that conversation is because I learned something from it.
Yeah,
Because I learned that that's just something I actually like. I thought I knew about it. I thought like obviously
I
you
had a
should.
lot to say on it. I think that's another thing too. Yeah, I don't
There's
have a
like
lot to say.
there's like the hidden episode, like that'll never air.
if you guys if you guys pay, like become a Patreon,
Yeah,
you'll gain
we
access.
can reenact the episode for you.
That was another thing I was worried about. Like if we did do the Saturday thing, I was like, would I have to like redo this conversation? Because I was like, that was a good conversation. We'd have to
Hmm.
remake it. Because here we are talking about how weak the rest of the conversation was in
Also,
comparison to that one.
another thing is that I wasn't ready for that conversation. I was not.
Neither was I.
I didn't have anything prepared for that conversation, and like the thoughts just kind of came together,
I feel like
and
I have more to say on social subjects than I do like financial and like professional and stuff like that.
hmm
So I think that's why I was able to dive into that because I had a conversation with a friend like like what happened is that he's going through it right now because the whole thing is that like his girlfriend of like a year and a half at this point, just like the relationship crumbled because of quarantine, not being able to see each other, and she just like couldn't handle.
Yeah.
She just like, and like I don't know, we just went off on a tangent on that, despite the fact that like I said I have like zero experience in the field, like I don't know anything.
But you like talking.
But I think that's another reason, like why like the marriage thing just sort of just like, you know, went nowhere because it's like I don't know, like.
I guess things like that I'm interested in because it's something I do think about, and I think you can help yourself like mentally prepare for those kind of things by asking the right questions or like having the
For
right
me personally,
attitude about them. Yeah.
For me personally, I just kind of, I don't know. I feel like I've had that conversation in my head multiple times. So that's why when you like asked it, you like hit the sweet spot, and I was just able to just like vet on it for like 30 minutes until I was like, I think we should be recording.
Yeah.
And then your laptop was like, no, we shouldn't be.
No, it's been like that. I hate this laptop's like 5 or 6 years old now. It's literally on life support, or else it'll die. That's what happened to me on life support.
I only have so much time left, man.
Yeah. No, this is good. This is good. I don't even know how long this episode is. Maybe like 2 hours or something. No. This is probably one of my more successful episodes, honestly.
Really?
Because like,
And we missed the juiciest part.
because like my
not
other
gonna get over that.
I mean, I think I don't know. I'm like more comfortable right now, and
Yeah, man, you're 4 episodes deep. You're a professional.
well, Joe Rogan has like 1,500 episodes right now.
Yeah, and he's a professional.
Yeah. But this is good. Hopefully you'll be a recurring guest in the future, and we'll have something even better to talk about than that last topic. But yeah, really,
Maybe.
I appreciate your time.
I do think
Steph.
social subjects is definitely where like I land better because I feel like that's what it comes to with your guest. Like you need to be able to find out like what it is that they need to be more like leaning
passionate about, and
yeah.
What
For instance, like your first guest, they leaned more towards culture because like that's their thing. They know about their culture. They're proud of their culture. They love their culture. That's why culture hits so hard.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, frankly, we still technically talked about culture with me, but we talked less about like about being proud of your culture and more about me being just like, I don't know about my culture. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Some people think it's not, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm. It's not that you didn't know about your culture, but you had closure and like you had security in who you are.
I'm not as like like
your culture is
here's my culture. Here's my culture. Have I introduced you to my culture? Like
no, yeah. It's good. I will try to figure things out for the next guest and like really wrap these things around my head.
Whoever that is.
For next week. But yeah.
Next week. You gotta hunt that person down then. Any ideas?
I have a list of people who have already said yes. So like I've gotten pretty good reception about like people being interested on being on the podcast. I think everybody is different, obviously. Some things they find interesting are to them, and that's my job to be more open and really like find things interesting. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's good. It's also, yeah.
Hopefully, I get a part 2, and
yeah. No, I will definitely. Yeah. Thanks again, Steph, for being on the podcast. Episode 4. I don't do endings. I don't know why.
Nameless podcast.
No, it has a name. Currently,
it's the first for me.
currently, the podcast is called Brian Needs a Friend. But
Oh.
but
I wish I knew.
the the episode could change the title. We'll see. Yeah. All right,
Mhm.
Steph. Thanks again for your time.
All right, man.
Good luck. Good luck with everything, with like your major and careers, and just keeping in touch with people.
Oh,
Because
yeah, that's a biggie.
like you've already said, just to finish touching up
I don't talk
on.
to people enough is definitely a problem I've had lately. That's
Yeah.
something I definitely need to work on.
Hence why I need a podcast. Yeah.
Maybe I should make a podcast.
Well, it's a good business. It makes lots of money. All right, Steph. I'll see you around, man. Okay. Take care, man.